As part of our ongoing findings, we have the opportunity to speak with retired army officers and experienced security consultants, and they shed light on the conflict in Benue State, its causes, and potential solutions.
It's a conflict that has lasted, but it metamorphosed from one stage to the other. At a time, I will call it, is it a peaceful conflict? Yes, because it will happen and it will be resolved. At a time, middle into it, it became unresolvable. It seems unresolvable. At a time, we had information that people outside us, outside the state, started intervening. And that was where it became like a monster.
The security consultants gave insight in successful conflict resolution efforts that can be used in Benue State, which often include community-led peace initiatives facilitated by government support.
Even if there are crises, if weapons are reduced, the casualty would reduce. Where you allow these weapons to continue coming in, then the mass casualties will continue. Second point is to initiate peace-building measures within the communities, bridge the gap between communities. The level of distrust based on identity, based on religion, based on other factors will need to be neutralized. Once they do that, then the communities together can form groups that will now be preventing any outsider who decides to come and want to destroy the peace that has existed. The third point is to improve the socioeconomic conditions in the state.
The insights from our guest, based on his perspectives and experiences in Pakistan and other countries with similar situation, highlight the potential for peaceful coexistence in regions plagued by conflicts.
I was on study visits to about 2 or 3 African locations where we have cattle rearers here, I think nomads also, but they got to a time in Namibia, Botswana, amongst others, they now started ranching, which I believe, I didn't go into the details of the history of what happened before then, that encouraged farmers, or call them farmers now, people, animal husbandry, particularly cattle and cows, and ranching. I believe that was what the government, as it were then, Samuel Oton's government did, which I tell you is good. But what about this understanding of the people who are already used to moving their cattle from one place to the other? Do they understand it? What about the education? So the key thing here for me is the education. Who are the people to educate them? Are those people ready to do it? Are they doing it? That is the other leg to it. That yes, ranching and open grazing has come to stay in Benue, and even some other southern states also started copying them. I may not be very exact. I think on those states, on Delta and all that, we are saying, look, ranch and ranch and ranch, when we are having all these conflicts there. So one cannot say it is totally the solution to it, because yes, even then we hear that people follow, they say McMahon and all, they say they will try to acquire this and that places to ranch and all. But they realize themselves, do they understand that? Are they carrying them along? Until this truth need to be there amongst others. I will not say it is total. It is a one-legged solution now. Education, getting to carry the real people in the farm who are the headers, the one that move from place to place, to agree with that law, when it's said by law, yes.
In my local government area, the land was known for its rich agricultural heritage. Before the Headers Farmers crisis, the communities were a symbol of peaceful coexistence. The farmers and headers lived side by side, their livelihoods intertwined. They shared the fertile land, respecting the traditions of generations past. But then, a dark cloud begins to loom over the land. Tensions between headers and farmers escalated as competition for land and resources intensified. Herders, farmers, and experts, a more peaceful coexistence seems achievable.
And disarming the people will become gradual, because the people themselves will even start to disarm themselves when they see no need for it.
Our investigation into the farmer-herder conflict has unveiled a complex web of issues contributing to this long-standing crisis. One alarming finding centers on the youth rustling of cattle from communities they don't belong to. This illegal practice exacerbates tensions and escalates violence. Armed youths from both farmer and herder groups are often involved, making the situation even more precarious. Our investigation uncovered a distressing cycle of violence in some communities, where alleged herdsmen, driven by anger and retaliation after the rustling of their cattle, have resorted to retaliatory killings. This tragic pattern highlights the dire consequences of the herder-farmer conflict, where both sides have become victims of violence, further deepening the wounds of these already tense regions. Breaking this cycle and seeking a path towards reconciliation and lasting peace becomes increasingly urgent. Alarming finding from the investigation reveals that land grabbing by wealthy politicians and influential individuals further complicates the situation. The manipulation of land rights for personal gain is a key driver of this conflict, leaving ordinary citizens caught in the crossfire. In some affected communities, the extraction of natural resources like gold adds another layer to the conflict. This has led to disputes over access to these resources, creating additional flashpoints in an already volatile region.
For instance, in Benue, in Logo, that Axis particularly, if you go there, you see Chinese have fenced, I don't know how many hectares of land. I don't have the report here, but if I have, if I get it, I will share it with you. Serious hectares of land that they are taking in. Trailers loads of whatever thing that it is comes out in the night. So when we did that research and we tried to talk to the traditional institutions, they said they can't help it, because the moment they talked about it, they are being killed. And so many people have been killed there. Nobody goes into that place. Even the traditional leader said he was not aware of what is going on. And that he has tried to find out, but the people will tell you that they got their license straight from the federal government. So, and their sons and daughters who are very rich that are taking over those lands. And that the Chinese cannot be in those lands without the people knowing. In Konde local government, where the crises are ongoing, fresh now, which we are attributing it to farmer versus herders crisis, it's also about the goal that I understand, the shared boundary between Cameroon and that. And that axis, I understand that there's so much mineral resources that have been gotten from there. And that is what is fueling. Why these crises are ongoing, mining is ongoing. Nobody stops them. So we must review it from a holistic perspective. Who are these political elites? In Agila land, when I did that conflict, when I reviewed that, it was quite interesting that most of the people who were fueling the crisis were the sons and daughters of elites of that community.
The farmers need the land to farm. The herders need the land to graze. So there is struggle over that land. And because of the struggle over that land, it becomes struggle for survival of the fittest. And in this case, the bloodletting, the conflicts, the killings, and the occupation we are seeing explains it all. But in all of this, I will tell you that it is the struggle over the control of these natural resources.
Climate change has intensified the farmer-herder conflict as dwindling resources force herders to migrate further in search of grazing lands. Prolonged droughts and erratic weather patterns have strained available resources, leading to more confrontations.
Solution is integrated, really. Integrated in the sense that, first thing is this: can we bring those animals over there, down here? Will they survive? That's the first question. And some of people have tried it. They are not, and it's not working. I have seen people bringing dairy cows to Nigeria. They said they want to isolate them like they isolate in developed countries, but they are not productive. Ask the question why? Because the environment that are suitable to them have changed.
Sections of the population oppose anti-open grazing laws, which they see as infringing on